Ladies and gentlemen, now today I wanted to take my 6-star unawakened Iron Man into Variant 3 and have a bit of a play around on some of the tougher fights. So today we've got the Biohazard Korg, and we've also got the Armor Up node Iron Man Infinity War, Killmonger, War Machine, and also the final Kang boss as well. Now starting off, we have this really stacked Korg man who is on a Biohazard node as well, and Biohazard, you know, is a little bit risky when playing Iron Man Infinity War, because as long as you've got a stack of armor, you're immune to bleed, so you don't need to worry about Biohazard, but this does force you to play quite aggressively in order to keep the stacks of armor up, because if armor falls off, then you can potentially bleed, and there's a chance when your armor comes back that that bleed will not be purified. So sometimes this matchup can be a little bit risky, and I've got kind of the Nick Fury Deadpool synergy in here for a little bit of safety as well. But one of the really amazing things about the Iron Man matchup against Korg is that Iron Man's Repulsor Blast, so his first medium, his third light attack, and also his final light ending combo don't make contact with the opponent, so you take absolutely no damage back from Korg. So you can use this to kind of break his rock shield, and it's just a really good time, because one of the big problems with a lot of champions is kind of breaking that rock shield on Korg, because you take so much damage, man, especially if it's a very stacked kind of variant level version from breaking the rock shield. But here you can see the Repulsor Blaster just absolutely cutting through it along with the light attacks. So yeah, it's just a really good time. And also, now that we've got a stack of plasma up for the special 3, we can do some cheeky little backdrafts in order to reapply that, and also get some very nice little intercepts weaved in. One thing also to know about this matchup is the plasma is slightly more tricky to get a really good stack of it, just because you can only get it via the special 3 instead of, you know, using the special 2, special 1 merging with a heavy, just because of the fact that Korg is a shock immune champion. So you can get the Incinerate off via the special 2, however you cannot get the shock off via the special 1, so you know you can't merge the both. So the only source of plasma does become the special 3, which means the bigger the Korg, the better time you have in any of these matchups, really, because once you get a few plasma going, you can really start dealing some damage. And I think we actually managed to get double damage off that one, because we timed the heavy and the special 3 right at the same time. So while we were in the animation of kind of firing off that heavy attack there, we went for a special 3 at the point where we had the damage bonus to get like a mega plasma to finish that one off. So yeah, overall not a bad matchup against Korg, man, worked out alright. Also, the 6-star Iron Man as well, we don't have access to his awakened ability, and if you saw like the god tier 4-star gameplay that we were putting out in Realm of Legends, the awakened ability can do a lot to really kind of pump this man's damage output up. But my 4-star with that strategy, I kind of played around with him for a little bit, and I decided, you know, I'm not good enough to pull it off with a 4-star champion in Variant, man, just because it's really punishing, especially with like 4-star block proficiency. You just get absolutely ruined. So I thought we kind of stick to this style of like standard Iron Man Infinity War gameplay today, just to show you what is possible with this champion and kind of what fights you can get through if you have him as a 6-star champion unawakened, or you have him like as a 5-star champion at rank 4. Now in this wonderful mirror matchup here, we're going to take advantage of the fact that Iron Man Infinity War is not immune to either Incinerate or Shock, so we're looking to get the special 2 up and then kind of use the special 1 shock as well for kind of the mega plasma there. And also, due to the fact that you can very easily counter Iron Man Infinity War, gives us a really good opportunity to fuse the both there. But we just about get a counter there in order to refresh the Incinerate and also apply the shock, which is a really nice time. Just bait out heavy attack there, then we use the heavy to counter and apply the plasma. So here we actually have a slightly more powerful plasma that's dealing 841 damage per tick, so every single second that is just over 1,600 damage. So if you can get, you know, 1 mega plasma on your opponent, this just becomes your massive source of damage output. And the goal now in this Iron Man matchup is just to keep on refreshing that plasma and maybe build up to a second one. But I was a little bit, you know, kind of debating the strategy as our power went up and up, just because that final 15% usually is the big problem when it does come to Iron Man Infinity War matchups. So here I could combo and then special 2 for an Incinerate, but that gives me a situation where I might not be able to refresh the plasma. So just for a little bit of safety, we're kind of holding on to our power, building up to the special 3 here, trying to refresh the plasma, and then having the special 3 ultimate attack as kind of a final last-ditch effort in order to get Iron Man down. We did mess up and get blocked by the auto block there, so that was a little bit annoying, man. I should have gone for a heavy counter a little bit earlier to refresh the plasma, but this also puts me in the exact scenario I thought I'd be in, so I think we go for a cheeky little block here, and then straight into Special 3. We nail that bonus 12% damage, and you know, if the damage from the Special 3 doesn't kill him, the Plasma in Assassin's range will, so you know, there's plenty of overkill in this matchup, man. It's a really good time. It's nice to see a pretty easy matchup versus Iron Man Infinity War there in terms of the mirror, and a really fun one to play as well. This next matchup against Killmonger is actually a really good one for Iron Man, and that's just because Killmonger is only really a problem when he's not armor broken, because then you have the reverberation and also the potentially insane power gain whenever he gets a debuff. But with Iron Man Infinity War, this matchup becomes really straightforward, because all you need to do is just spam that heavy attack in order to keep on applying armor break, and also look at building up to the Special 2 at the same time. In this matchup, and most matchups, you're really looking to follow the strategy of build up to the Special 2, Special 1, get the Mega Plasma, and then you've pretty much won the match. Like, as soon as you get one of those big plasmas, man, it really starts destroying a lot of variant level opponents. Like, the plasma is so strong if you get that heavy infusion, so it really does a lot to quickly cut the opponent down. And again, today's video is without the use of boost or suicide masteries, so boost work really well for Iron Man. Suicide masteries, I don't think as much, but you know, in the right scenario matchup, they can be okay for the champion. So here we're just trying to quickly bait out the Special 2 and then retaliate with a Special 1. We fire off the shock here. He does have reverberation, but now we're about to parry and go straight into the armor break to get rid of reverberation and also merge our plasma for a total of just under 1,000 damage every single tick. So that's about 2,000 damage every single second. But as you can see, it takes about 50 hits on the combo meter to get that Mega Plasma. But at this point, we just need to keep that plasma refresh, keep on armor breaking, and the match is an easy win. If you've got a really stacked Iron Man as well, this is potentially a tactic that can work for a fair few fights in terms of variant 2, because Iron Man can use his heavy attacks and also his Special 3 in variant 2 to your heart's content. So yeah, that is potentially kind of a way to play Iron Man if you are looking to take this champion into variant 2. However, there are, you know, better champions in variant 2 and also variant 3, but I just wanted to, you know, show you guys today that Iron Man Infinity War, he is viable to deal with some slightly more problematic matchups and matchups that you may not have thought that, you know, Iron Man would be able to tackle. Iron Man is an absolute Swiss army knife of utility. There's a lot of stuff that this guy can do. He doesn't necessarily do like anything the best, but he does a lot of stuff really well. One of the things that he does really well is block proficiency. His block proficiency is slightly above average. Now, most average champions at the variant level take kind of a few hundred damage from every single parry, whereas if you look at Iron Man Infinity War, usually it's anywhere between like 10 to 50 damage, sometimes a little bit lower as well. So he parried like that first hit of War Machine's Special 1, and it only dealt 4 damage there, but also because he has really high block proficiency as well, it allows you to tank kind of this bombardment or barrage specials and not really take like as much damage as you would with other champions. So yeah, he can be really useful for matchups like this. But also, it's worth knowing that for champions like War Machine, you know, arguably characters like Stark Enhanced Spider-Man that have assisted evade, or Dr. Octopus that can completely shut down power gain or magic, are arguably a little bit better. But just to show you, man, we got through this very large, beefy War Machine with really taking minimal damage here overall. We've taken about 5% of our maximum health so far, and that's pretty good for a stacked War Machine matchup, especially considering this variant does have some crazy attack pools where most champions do have about 10,000 attack points. So yeah, just wanted to highlight, man, his block proficiency is still absolutely banging, and certainly something to not be discarded. Now, finally, I wanted to test Iron Man Infinity War out against this Kang, and if you had Iron Man's awakened ability, this fight honestly would be about 5 times easier just because of the power generation. You get your plasmas so quickly, and also in this fight, there's not really an external source of damage, so providing you could play quite well, you could have Kang down really fast. But because we don't have that power gain, it's a little bit of a slower tactic. So my plan for Kang was to build up to 3 stacks of plasma and then apply the Special 1 and just spam the Special 1 just in order to keep the shock up, because it's very easy to keep the shock up, but if you don't build any plasma, you really don't have like too much damage output. So in this matchup, it's all about getting that Incinerate, that shock, and merging the two. And if he has Incinerate or shock when the timer expires, he is not going to refresh and heal up to full. However, if he just has plasma, because plasma for some reason doesn't count toward this node, just because it's not actually an incinerate or shock, it's a passive, even though it's meant to have the qualities of both. So yeah, the point is, as you're going to see in a second, man, if you just have plasma on Kang, then he's going to regenerate up to full. So, you know, I wasn't too worried about this. Kind of in my head, the plan was to get to 3 stacks of plasma and then play really, really well to get this man down. We haven't eaten too much block damage so far. We're doing pretty well. We're on 42% here. Then we go for a special 1 evade, you know, just keeping it nice and slow. Like, Kang is a very easy and straightforward champion to fight for the most part. You know, the biggest problem with this fight is really dealing with that time stream node. So now we got plasma. We've also got an incinerate on him, so we're dealing like 1,400 damage every single second. We're going to go for a special 1 in just a moment here as well. And I think I maybe should have looked at delaying this special 1 a bit, because I think this is one of the scenarios where he does heal up here. And if I'd maybe done this a little bit later, you know, gone for another parry, he wouldn't have healed up. So, you know, I'm learning all sorts of super fun stuff watching this back. But yeah, you have to be a little bit careful, man. If you have an awakened Iron Man and you can siphon that crazy power gain and kind of play below 15%, you're going to have a really, really good time in this matchup, man, because the power gain is just absolutely absurd. We actually get quite a nice interval here to apply the incinerate, so we get that just before time stream kind of procs off again, which was really, really good. We take so much block damage there, though, which is a pretty bad time, man. We lost a lot of hit points there. I think we're down to about 7% health, so we've literally lost like about 30% just from holding block a little bit too much. And now we got the incinerate and shock. I should have used a heavy to merge those. I think I was panicking a little bit too much on the timer, but hey, you know, it doesn't really matter, man. We got 2 mega plasmas and 1 slightly smaller one there. Just about managed to get the refresh and get this fight back on track. However, I'm in a little bit more of a dire situation than previously, where I've only got 4% health. And to be fair, you could probably just get 1 mega plasma and kind of get Kang down, but from now on, the strategy is really, really straightforward. It's just don't get hit, especially into the block, man, because I have absolutely no buffer left at all. We've only got 4%. We can get parries. Parries are relatively safe just because Iron Man Infinity War, again, mitigates so much damage on those parries. We also have 3 evade charges from the Nick Fury synergy, so, you know, I'm a little bit shaky, man, but I know it's going to be fine. As long as we can intercept well, we can keep on bashing out those parries, but if we're a little bit too early to a parry, then we are absolutely screwed, because we can't take a full blocked hit, or more than 1 blocked hit, and expect to live against this Kang. He just has far too much attack. One of the really handy things that, you know, is good to have in this matchup is just the unblockable special 1, because it allows you, if you're in a bit of a tricky scenario where he's blocking a bit too much and you're about to have selective time stream expire, you know, you can break down that block instantly and also apply shock to Kang, thus preventing him from getting the regeneration there. But you can see, since he's healed up, man, where we've had this plasma dealing like just under 5,000 damage per second total, it's just absolutely nuke Kang down. So it's been a really good run after the last heal up, which probably shouldn't have happened, but hey, stuff does happen sometimes. But hopefully you enjoyed the fights today, ladies and gentlemen. Please do smash that like button if you did. Aside from that, take care. Thank you very much for watching, and I hope you have an absolutely fantastic day.